Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you to our fourth tutorial with Style3D. My name is Angelika Chilikova and I am a 3D fashion designer, creative pattern cutter. And on this tutorial, we will be making the second version of the Barbie dress. Before we go ahead to introduce you the new design we will be creating, I'd like you to visit the Style3D website. The link you will find below in the comments, where you can download the studio, okay, and get 3 months free trial to practice your skills, and also register with Stylist3D and be among all these amazing designers. Let me show you what we will be making today. As we did on the previous tutorial, we have the original pattern from the tutorial number 1. We will be using this block to recreate and make new versions for the Barbie dress. This is our inspiration image and this is the color palette that we will be using. On this tutorial, we will be making this dress. I already made the dress and I rendered it, so we will go ahead step by step how we can make this dress. So let's get started. I open the dress from the tutorial 1. I already took off all the seams and the top lines. You can watch the Barbie dress 1 on the tutorial 3 for the details. I basically took off the buttons, all the seams, and I merged the panels. I connected some of the seams. I also changed my avatar and to use the one that I'm using for this style. So I will change the hair, the shoes. You can watch the previous tutorial at the beginning for some details so we don't repeat ourselves. And now I'm going to basically start working on the actual dress. Straighten. Okay, I also want to change the hair to the pink. Okay. Let's add points to my straps where I want them to be, and I want them to be slightly wider. The moment they are 2.7, I'm maybe gonna add 1 more centimeter, 3.5, and at the moment here I want to shift, press, I move the slide, right click, and I add 1 centimeter to make it 3.5. I want to take off. I'm going here, edit curvature point, and I want to delete those points. Delete. And now I want to move this center front point lower, curve. Also I want to curve this side. The other thing I recommend you to do is make sure right click, clone as reference line. So basically any changes you're making, you will be able to see what you've done and estimate approximately what is happening. So the other thing, I want to have my avatar without underwear. That's it. That's better. Next thing, I'm gonna add points here and the same. I'm gonna move this and make it 3.5. Right click, clone as a reference line, and I want to take down that panel up to here. Next. Top stitch here. Now I need to change the distance of my zip. So what I have here is 2.5, 4, and 15, 16. So I'm going to assets, zip, and I change the length to 22.5. Enter. Now shift, stimulate, sorry, and that's it. Also, I noticed that something is happening here. That means I need to check my seams. So my seam have to go all the way here. and here has to go all the way here. The moment I'm going to be working with the sleeve, I think best to just freeze the bottom part. Maybe let's freeze the waistband as well. Freeze. Let's make our sleeve now. We'll make a rectangle, right click, 105, it's going to be the width, and 12 centimeters will be the height. Now we're going to add 0.4 centimeters. Yes, 4 and 4. Okay. I'm adding here 9 centimeters. Okay, and 9. Okay. I want to have this clone as a reference line, and I will delete this point, and I'm going to delete this point. I'm going to curve, create a curve. Now what I need to do is to check the front. It's 8.3. Here we are 12.23. 8.3. I'm going to add 8.3. Enter. Oops, sorry, on the opposite direction. So basically you need to be here, 8.3, closer to that point, so it goes here. And my back is 9.8. 9.8. Now I'm gonna delete this point. I'm gonna delete this point. I'm gonna curve here, and I'm gonna curve this towards down. Okay, let me measure what is my height. I need it to be slightly more, 20. I'm gonna curve it even more. I'm gonna curve, edit curvature, and I'm gonna to have more puffiness, and I'm gonna curve it here as well. Control S, save. Make sure you save your project first. First save as to where you want it to be saved, and then following you keep saving. Now let's place my sleeve. I'm selecting the arrangement points. I'm gonna place it here, and I don't want it to be curved, so I'm gonna make it flat. And at the moment, let's just stitch and connect. Free sewing, and I'm stitching my first part. I'm stitching that side as well, and I'm gonna stitch this top part. So this is my sleeve. I'm going to straighten that and stimulation. Okay, now let's stitch this side. Stimulate, and the bottom line I'm gonna add elastic. Stimulate, and let's make it smaller. Yeah. Here, seam taping, and I will make this seam tape wider because I want it to be unstraightened, more puffy. Okay, next, make sure this is 8. Symmetric pattern with seam. Yes, stimulate. All the top part, I want it to be bonded. That's it. Let's unfreeze the waistband, and let's unfreeze the skirt as well, actually. Freeze and because I want to take all these panels up. I'm gonna copy paste all that, and I'm gonna add general lining inside. Also, the other thing is happening is that I had, let me see, measure. think here I need to edit. I want to delete those tapes that they are from my previous dress, and maybe that's why they hold my dress at the moment. I think I want to add a little bit more length to my sleeve. I'm gonna press shift and add +1 centimeter, and I'll do the same here. I'm gonna add a little bit of puffiness. Just a little bit more volume. Now let's start on the dress, on the skirt. Firstly, I'm gonna delete those lines because I want to change the darts, the pleats, sorry, to gathers. So I'm gonna change all that, and that. Delete. Maybe curve here a little bit. No. Delete and delete. Okay. So now let me check what is happening with my seams. I think here I'm just gonna check all my seams. Delete. 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 I'm gonna delete all the seams that are for my. Now I'm gonna stitch this right here. Simulate. Next, following, I will corner the reference line. Next, firstly, I need to take off. I'm gonna close my darts. I'm gonna need to open the skirt at the bottom. This is gonna go away. This is gonna go away. I'm gonna delete that point as well. Delete this point. Oops, overlapping. Okay. I'm gonna take this point here and delete this point as well. Same fullness point. I'm clicking here and I'm opening this panel. Moving the dart up, delete. Delete. And maybe delete that side better. Now we're going to carry on with the fullness and add some more. Fullness. Let's take this panel down. First, let's freeze that top part. Freeze. So now let me check what we have with the seams. And so there's something happening, you see, because I'm splitting the thing. Sometimes you need to check what is going on with the seams. At the moment, this is all one seam. I need to delete this seam. My center back probably just got crazy and mad. And I lost also my zip, the center back. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna stitch again this top part and my waistband. When you slash panels, usually sometimes you may have some troubles with your seams, so you better check again on what are you doing. Next, let me see, I need this to be 20, oops, sorry, 20, enter. Also, let's rearrange that pattern, reset 3D arrangement, and I want it to be flat, and let's just move and stimulate. So now from here we're going to start working with the half side of the skirt and add the length and maybe more volume. We'll see that further. Next thing, let me add, I don't need, I delete this point, I delete this point, and I delete this point. And I use edit curvature. Now let me move that to the full length. I want it to be my dress, the skirt. Next thing, let's delete this. All right, and let's move this and this. I'm gonna delete this panel as well, and I'm gonna move this further. So let's see what we've done so far. Delete this panel and delete this panel. Curve. Let's add this. Symmetry pattern with seam, and make this panel layer 1, enter, okay, and that layer -1, enter, okay, and then stimulate. All right, now let's stitch my center back. And let's add center back zip. Firstly, I want to delete this seam, delete, and the center back seam, delete. I also want to delete my top stitches. I'm not going to need them. Okay. And I also want to delete the top stitch here. Delete. And delete. Edit sewing. I want to delete this one as well. First stimulate. That's it. Let's add my zip now. Zipper. And double click. Double click. That's it. Stimulate. So now I'm going to edit my zip. I want to change it. Zip library. We go for the plastic one. Also, what I want to do is the weight needs to be 0.2. So it comes closer and we have smaller distance in the between. 3. I want it to be plastic. Matte. And the puller, we will change the puller. Okay. Matte, and the snipper will be also matte. Let's add a little bit on the side seam. I think I need a little bit more here, and take off slightly from here as well, just to give a different volume, and maybe make it slightly shorter here as well. So yeah, that's it. Next, let's change my fabric, and I want my fabric to be color pink. Okay, let's unstraighten. Unstraighten. I do not wish to see my fuse, so here we go. And I want it to be silk as well. Silk. Stimulate. I want to make this distance at the front a little bit smaller, and I want to check a little bit what is happening here with my, let's see. Firstly, we need to fix that. We can't leave that. Okay. Clone as a reference line, and let's play with my curves. Let's make this distance smaller as well. What is happening on my seams? So we have 6.18, and here we've got to go here, here, here. Nice. Stimulate. I think much better now. It will be better when we drop also the particle distance, because at the moment, because it is high, it doesn't drape really nicely at the moment yet, but we will get there. Next, I want to make on my skirt the hem. Top stitch. I want to change stitch library, and this stitch will go and be, sorry, we're gonna make it like a bar tag. Segment top stitch, and I'm going over the parts that I want to be top stitched. And next, this bar tag, we go closer. This bar tag, I want it to be 0 offset, because I want it to be exactly on the corner. And also the width, I want it to be 0.5 wider. And as also I like to change the color to be also pink and silk. So here we go. We've done this too. Next, let's add the stones. On the top layer, I'm gonna add internal lines, 1, sorry. Yeah, let's leave it 0.8. Same here. Okay, and let's add maybe, no, for now this 0.8. And let's add here as well, convert to core point. I want to have, okay, offset internal line 0.8, and I do the same here. Merge overlapping points, and I do the same here. So now it's time to add our stones. But before we do so, I like us to pay attention. I don't really like here where I have the colors of the sleeves, the way how it's the seams are going wavy. So I'm gonna select this seam, and now we'll add an extra seam taping, 1.5 centimeter, and I put simulate, and I have, you see, it's getting much better. So now I'm ready to go to create my stones. I add new seam, top stitch, new top stitch, and we're gonna recreate this top stitch on the texture. We delete that, and we will be adding, I have this little stone here that I added, and I do want my offset to be 0, and let me try and segment top stitch. I'm gonna add, and now I'm gonna work on this one and one, enter. Maybe I want it, maybe I'm gonna make it 1.5, 1.5 and 1.5. This is better. Uh, 1.3 and 1.3. I think I like that. Now I'm gonna need to create the normal map. and the displacement map. I'm using Photoshop to create those maps. I'm going to show you how is it done. And now I go filter, 3D, generate normal map. And that's automatically going to happen. Okay. And file, save as, save on your computer. That's going to be my normal map. Save. Okay. Control Z, we're going back. Image, adjustment. Now we're going to create the bump map, the displacement map. I'm going to make my stone black and white, and then I will go to the 3D, generate bump high. You can select the object here and see how you will be able to see the volume of it. Okay. File, save as, save on your computer. That's gonna be bump. Bump. Save. Okay. Now I'm going back and I'm gonna add a normal map, adjusting this, and here I can, where is my and now I'm going to displacement map and I add my bump map, and here we go. Approximately, let's put it 4, let's put this one 2, and now next thing, ideally to be able to see what, come closer, and I want to change the offset minus 1.5, bring it closer, and also I want to change this from white to silk, just to have a little bit, and also I can just add some glossiness to it. Let me see which direction will be best. Okay, now let's go and add the segment of stitch into the other side as well. Okay, extend trim to outline. No, I think Control Z. Yeah, a little bit even more. All right. So now I want to add the same stones into my waistband. I'm gonna go on segment top stitch and I add this and that, this and that. Nice. Now next I want to add another little line in the between and add a different type of stone. I'm gonna go and select offset internal line to 1.5, 1.8. Maybe that's good. And I'm gonna add another seam as well here. Here I'm gonna go for 2. Okay. Going back to the seam, and I will add another top stitch. And here I'm gonna do exactly the same. I'm gonna add this stone. I did exactly the same and it's ready, so I'm adding this stone. I am going here, segment top stitch. I need to change my 0, my offset. Let's put it 1 and 1, I think. Maybe 0.8, 0.8 and 0.8. All right. I'm doing the same here. I'm adding now my normal map that I created previously. And now I'm going to add my displacement map. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go and open my offline render. Sync. So just I can see what I'm doing. I think this looks pretty cool. But I think I need to make this 1.5 maybe, just a little bit more. Actually, I like this one more, like this. Yeah. Now, so I'm gonna add the same seam top stitch my waistband as well. All right, that's it. I think now we are ready to go to create the pose. I'm going to select all my dress, make it vertical distance 8, and just to make sure that all my layers are 0 as well. It's very important. 0, enter. Done. Let's stimulate. Now, I think straighten. Maybe I'm gonna put everything now for time being on 20, vertical distance, just to change my pose, and so my computer is not going slow. Now, as I said in my previous tutorials, we have this library here where you have the garment, avatar, fabric, graphic trims. On the avatars, we have the female, and we have face, emotions, poses as well. I'm currently having a big selection of poses, and that's because I am created my library. For those who, at the beginning, you won't have such a big selection, so you will have to go to the little cloud here and download the poses you desire. Just make sure that you are on the avatar, so you selecting, oh, they have nice, beautiful new hair. Every time the library has new assets, so you can browse and just click and download after the bits and bobs that you want to use. At the moment, I am going to use, let me see which pose we use. I pose this one. To make the garment and also make sure your dress is not freeze. To change the pose, you press simulate and then you double click on the desirable pose. But here you go, she's transforming. She's changing now. That's it. Oh, I think because the elastic at the moment, that's what is happening. So basically this elastic ratio needs some relaxing, you see? And now we have to go again back. I think it's just the way her hands are at the moment. So we straighten this bit, stimulate again. Yeah. So we take the shape we wanted to have, our bubbles. Now we unstraighten, stimulate again. Okay, cool. Stimulate again. Just gonna place my dress where I want it to be, a little bit open. Ideally, you better to do that when you have your particle distance high. And then next thing, you will select your skirt as well, and you will unstraighten. Now let's load our scene. The scene I used was that one. Double click. Okay. I want to move. Okay, I think I need to move my scene, so I'm going to do the same, and this time -1. Okay. So now you're basically gonna have to play sometimes. It depends. Like now I have the dress. I want to have more space. Next, I want to change my colors. Here again, you create your palette, the desirable palette of pinks. I show already on the previous tutorial how can we create the library from our inspirational image pictures. And here I'm gonna change this to pink. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. Now, next thing I like to do is, also I just noticed that my girl is basically sinking in my scene. So I'm gonna go down just so much she's stepping on. Yeah, that's it. The other thing I like to introduce is the wind. What is happening here? I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make all the dress now. Is the time to change it to particle distance 8. Oh, sorry, no. See, we have here the grid of things that you want to be visible or not. You see, I took off the grid. We have also the wind, which is here. Now, when I'm selecting the wind, I have the option here to change it to planar, let's say. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place it. I select my direction. Now, this is maybe too much. I'm gonna go for a maybe 8, 600. And when I press stimulate, I can see the wind taking slowly my skirt toward back. So here you play with the timing, with the position, with what you have, the flow you want to have. You see, I think I'm happy here, or even if you don't, you press stop. Just make sure you deactivate it if you want to stop. Like it. I think I'm gonna keep it here. So now here you can spend as much time you want to find your best. I don't want to see it again. And now I'm going tools, offline render, sync. Place on my frame. And when we are finding our desirable position, now, as I said before, those scenes, they are coming already with a light set. But if you, I like this frame, okay, I'm gonna lock my view. And now I can play with my light. You see all these panels, those are my lights. Comes the area, what kind of light it is. So when I press, maybe I want to take this light a bit further back. When I make these changes, that's affecting my light here too. But also besides that, I can click and I can change the intensity. I can make it higher, much higher, or much lower. You play around and find, let's say here I want to pay attention into my stones, so I'm maybe gonna play around and place it a little bit closer to my stones. On the previous tutorial, but I'm just gonna run quickly again. If I go to the image property, I can change the size here and I can make it, custom. And I'm normally use 1350. You see now my lock view is changed. I'm gonna have to create again my pose. Let's do that again. Let's sync. This is important. And also the noise, I can take it down ideally under 10. Uh, Depends, right? And also we have the option how we're going to name this file, tutorial 4, and it will be rendered on the file tutorial 4. And when we are happy with the position, ideally lock the view just to make sure, and then we go for the final rendering. We click, and here my rendering comes to the end, and I can open the file, and I can see that this is what we done. Look how beautiful. Thank you for watching this tutorial. That was the second Barbie dress I made using the Stylist3D software. I'm looking forward to see how you will be making this dress. Please tag Cn8 Digital Fashion and Stylist3D. You will find the stones for your practice on the comments below. And the original dress is from the tutorial 1, where you can download it to practice. Thank you once again, and stay tuned for the next tutorial.